Hello and welcome to the series where I show you what I am doing to become a web developer. My name's Craig and this is week 3 of web development. The main focus this week was to get a understanding of Bootstrap along with fixing a few issues from the previous week, such as image optimization and mobile first kind of design. I've also been trying to create some more shapes with CSS just to get a better understanding of manipulating CSS. Let's see how much time I've spent on web development this week. So in total I've spent 23 hours and 43 minutes on web development, which is down slightly from the previous week. That's kind of due to a physio appointment I had, and I also played squash in the middle of the day, which threw things out a little bit. But in terms of tutorials and project, I spent 9 hours 57 on tutorials and 12 hours 46 on projects. I do need to be a little bit more disciplined and work on my attention span, I think. So what have I learned this week? Well, as I was saying in the intro, the main focus has been on Bootstrap, just to get a kind of basic understanding of it. And I will admit, it was a little difficult. And again, I think this is down to my attention span and maybe some of the videos I was watching. I just found it really hard to watch people type classes into HTML. It just got really repetitive and quite boring quite quickly. There was one brilliant course I actually watched. It was the first one, and that was on Skillshare, and the instructor took you through the Bootstrap by going through the documentation, which was really helpful, and then using the inspector pane to modify the HTML, and you could see how the different classes impacted the website. So I thought that was really good, and I'd recommend that one to anyone. Again, links to what I've been using will be down below. I think with Bootstrap I just need more practice. I just need to build more sites using it. It's difficult because I always just want to write my own CSS and be like, to make a website how I want it, but I think it would be handy to do more Bootstrap just for in terms of speed. If I just want to get a quick site up and running, if I know the basics of Bootstrap quite well, it won't take me that long, whereas right now I'm like googling and going through all the documentation in Bootstrap just to get a simple kind of design up and running. But let's head over to the computer and see what I've been working on this week. So we're just going to go through my projects very quickly. I probably won't cover everything, especially with the week 2 stuff. But I'll open up all the Bootstrap sites and show you what I've been working on with Front-End Mentor as well. So to start off, I've done some rework to week 2 projects. You know, I optimized the images, I downloaded GIMP and just did the optimization through there. You know, I added a few links which I had forgot to add during week 2. So for example, I've added these patterned backgrounds, the background grid, which I think looks really nice, and it was a lot of the kind of shapes. So this shapes the image, sorry. So the images now load really nicely on mobile as well. It's pretty quick, and the image gallery again a lot quicker than it was last time. So I'm quite happy with those changes to the week 2 projects. Again, this whole page here as well is built using Bootstrap, using the accordion items, so I was quite happy with that. In terms of shapes, I've tried to create 2 kind of avatar people. The lips went horribly wrong, and the eyes lolly still needs some work. So pretty simple shapes, you know, just a circle, a before and after pseudo element, which went quite nicely. For person 2, I created a body, I believe, and then there's a before and after on the head. I don't know if you can see this very well, but there is a slight white line dividing the circle and the hair in the background, which is really frustrating if I'm honest. I need to figure that one out. As I say, the lips, pretty horrible. They kind of look a little bit like the cartoon lips, I guess, but really not. And the eye slowly needs some depth on the body itself. So I've got a little bit of shadow on the stick here, but I need some kind of highlights or shadows or both to make the eye slowly look a little bit better. So in terms of Bootstrap, I'll first cover off the front-end mentor challenge. So I reworked this 3-column layout first using Bootstrap, and I'm quite happy with that. I did need to add a little bit of custom CSS kind of for these hover images, and it would have been nice to center this main part, but other than that, I'm generally quite happy with it. The mobile design is really nice. So the mobile stuff works generally quite well. I'm happy with the front-end mentor redesign. So these, the cover template, the pricing template, the sign-in template, and the Jumbotron template were all kind of reworks from the Bootstrap example site. So if we go to the custom components down here, so yeah, I just took these sites, the pricing, cover, sign in, and Jumbotron, and I just recreated them myself, which was really good fun. I did sometimes go into the inspector pane on these example sites just to see if I was doing it differently. Most cases I was, and if I was really struggling, you know, I'd see what elements I'd messed up basically. So I'm just going to open these up individually first. So generally I'm quite happy. There's a few things, you know, that could be improved. If we go at the inspector pane on mobile, this cover and the nav don't line up, which is really frustrating. But other than that, this one's pretty good. I was quite happy building this one. The cover template. Pricing, I think I was doing pretty good on this. There's the image, which I didn't bother to include. These probably should be links, but I haven't made them links in the HTML. And again, on mobile, it looks really nice. Things move about. So I do like how fast it is for Bootstrap to make mobile and then larger screens and responsive sites, but it just takes me a little bit of time to make them work properly. The sign-in template was pretty bog standard. It's, you know, not too much going on here. The image could have probably been a bit higher quality, but it's just an image and it's a template for me to mess around with. The Jumbotron, I think this is a really nice layout. You know, you've got your big kind of call to action and smaller sections here. I believe there should have been another icon at the top, like a logo. I didn't include that. Again, on mobile, it looks really nice. Probably maybe a bit too much padding on the sides. Maybe. Because, you know, only 4 words a line. Could probably push to 5 or 6 on a mobile. But yeah, it was good fun doing Bootstrap like that. It is just something I need to practice a lot more. My first port of call whenever I'm building a new site or element is to go straight to custom CSS. Maybe I need to do a little bit more Bootstrap to get comfortable with it. And then finally we've got the front end meta challenge, which was this. It was a newbie challenge, just using HTML and CSS. And this was like the mobile and desktop layouts. I've got my Figma design, which I still need a lot of practice using Figma. I've got my colors down at the bottom, general layouts, put it into boxes, which is quite good. So I was quite happy doing that with Figma. And then that's the image. So I've loaded up the images of what they should look like. I'll get the mobile one up as well. So there's a few issues I have with this. Again, should have centered it in the middle of the screen a little bit better. Thinking now, possibly display flex could have done that if I sort of flex the body and then justify content and center on the main kind of stuff. That would have worked. Again, I didn't use any links, I've just done it as divs or sections. There's a spacing issue and processing issue as well. So this main one, it just looks a little bit too cramped at the top, and there's this huge white gap. So that's not brilliant. And again, a bit of a gap at the bottom on this monthly subscription. But if I go with the inspector on mobile, generally it's alright. The sections, like the 3 different boxes, are not even, which is a little bit frustrating. But I generally think it looks okay. Just trying to remember it now. Yeah. A little bit of, get the text working. Should have been a little bit nicer there. But I was quite happy. I'm getting a little bit more confident doing things like this. It's just going to take, like I said, time and effort. That is it for week 3. I'm going to spend another week doing HTML, CSS and Bootstrap, just building up a few more projects, building up my confidence before I even start looking at JavaScript. So it's been an okay week, but there is a lot I need to do just in terms of discipline for myself and just practice. That's all I can do. As always, if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more of these types of videos, then please subscribe. I will catch you all later.